Welcome into the Los Angeles Lakers Report here by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. He is Nick Roloff. It is day 2 of NBA free agency, and the Lakers continue to wheel and deal. Rob Pelinka, very, very busy here. And the Los Angeles Lakers making a very important signing to keep their core intact. Austin Reeves signing a 4-year, $56 million contract. And Rolly, what a story for him. Undrafted free agent, 2-way contract. He's able to fight for a roster spot last year, really started to emerge as a very valuable player, was very good throughout the NBA playoffs as one of the go-to options on both ends of the floor for LA, and now this roster is starting to take hold for Los Angeles here.
Seems like the Los Angeles Lakers are set with their roster. Very minimum moves could be made after this, but Reeves, one of the top priorities for the Los Angeles Lakers going into the NBA free agency period. I think they were really honed in on getting Reeves back. And a lot of us were projecting Reeves to potentially get $20-25 million a year, like a 4-year, $100 million contract. Well, that's not the case.
Yeah.
As you see on the bottom of your screen right now, 4 years, $56 million for Reeves to return to Los Angeles. And this feels like an absolute steal for Rob Pelinka and the Lakers, who have just had a tremendous free agency period. It's only been damn near 24 hours, not even, and they have been active and very efficient with their signings. Reeves, obviously known, had a couple big-time playoff moments for Los Angeles this past postseason against Memphis and against the Golden State Warriors. Didn't play that well against the Nuggets, but was very good in the first 2 rounds for Los Angeles.
And what's crazy about Reeves, right, we talk about his path, it being somewhat improbable, wasn't even among the 60 players drafted in 2022, but in the regular season, 13 points per game, 3.5 assists. He shot just shy of 53% from the field and almost 40% from three-point range. In the NBA playoffs, though, I think he had 5 or 6 20-point games, and the numbers went up. Almost 17 points per game, 4.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and was a very, very good player. 46% from the field, 44% from three-point range. And I really like the Lakers roster here, especially given how competitive the Western Conference is going to be. Austin Reeves as an individual player, a guy who can bring the ball up. He can come off some of those screens. He can create for himself. He can create for others. If you leave him vacant from downtown, he's going to make you pay. He can get to that mid-range area, get his shot off. But this Lakers roster, very, very deep, as we're about to talk about. But first, grade this signing, A, B, C, D, or F. This will be our pinned comment, so make sure you go on down, get those votes in, and let us know what you think about what the Lakers are doing right now. Because this Lakers team, in my opinion, it's one of the deeper teams in the NBA, at least in the early going here. At point guard, you have D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, Jalen Hood-Schifino, who they drafted in the first round. At shooting guard, Austin Reeves, Cam Reddish, who they signed, Max Christie. At small forward, LeBron James, Taurean Prince. Power forward, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt. At center, Anthony Davis, Jackson Hayes. And you have to think, Rolly, this is going to be the starting 5. I know Anthony Davis doesn't prefer to play the 5, but with how well Rui Hachimura played, do you want him coming in off the bench? Obviously, he could be a spark plug scorer there, but I like the makeup of the starting 5. Or you take Hachimura out, you put Gabe Vincent in that starting 5. How do you kind of figure what Darvin Ham is going to do here?
Yeah, it's very intriguing, and this roster is very deep, and on paper looks like a top team in the Western Conference this upcoming season. I think the Gabe Vincent signing is very intriguing to me for a couple of reasons. One, they were able to pry him away from Miami, who offered the same amount of money in 1 more year, so it was less annually, but ended up being $33-34 million. You see what he's done. He's gotten better every year in this league, and he was a really key factor in the Heat's playoff run this past postseason. But I think they paid him like a fringe starting point guard, right?
Yeah.
They gave him $11 million per year, fully guaranteed, 3 for 33, and then they bring back D'Lo. They bring back Austin Reeves. And are you going to run a small lineup of D'Lo and Vincent in the backcourt with Reeves at the 3, LeBron at the 4, and AD at the 5? That's a pretty small lineup, but it's also hard for me to fathom the contract they gave Gabe Vincent yesterday for him not to start.
Yeah.
When they signed Gabe Vincent, I should say, that to me kind of pinpointed they're letting Schroeder go, and they're likely letting D'Lo go. But obviously, as we know today, D'Angelo Russell re-signs alongside Austin Reeves, as it just was announced a couple minutes ago. So they're running it back with a couple small additions like Taurean Prince, like Gabe Vincent, a couple draft picks in Hood Schifino and Maxwell Lewis. This is a fascinating Lakers roster who will definitely be competing to be in that top 5 portion of the Western Conference playoffs. I mean, the Lakers were one of the best teams post-NBA trade deadlines last season. Now they're going to have a chance to show what they can do throughout a full season.
Yeah, and to get Reeves at $14 million per, when a guy like Bruce Brown is getting more than 20, when Austin Reeves, I thought, had a similar impact for Los Angeles that Bruce Brown had. You have Jeremy Grant getting $30 million. Austin Reeves is a young player who's going to continue to mold, and basically the Lakers did everything in their power to try to keep him. And this was a massive, massive priority for Rob Pelinka and this organization to keep him under wraps, because also when you think about this, like, you find diamonds in the rough, you want those types of players a part of your culture because it really has a long-lasting impact and shows other players what is certainly capable. So Austin Reeves going from a two-way contract to a standard minimum in 2021 NBA training camp, and now less than 2 years later, cashes in on the maximum allowable salary for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I also want to mention, shout out Bobby Marks here. He has the full contract details for Reeves, and when you break it down on an annual basis, it actually looks even more favorable for LA here. This next season, he's going to be paid $12 million. Then the year after, it's $13 million. In that third year of 25-26 will be $13.9 million. And then in 26 and 27, the final year of his deal will be $14.9 million. So it goes up a little bit each year. But at least in this first season, with LeBron James and Anthony Davis in this roster still, he's only getting paid $12 million. This is a really good signing for Lakers, and good for Austin Reeves to get that back.
Make sure you subscribe to us here on the Los Angeles Lakers Report. Every single move that the Lakers have made, somebody here at Chat Sports has been able to provide you with the best analysis there on YouTube. We just got past 51,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of the support. So, Lakers offseason profile here. Key free agents, Malik Beasley. They're able to bring back a couple of their own players externally, able to bring some players in. Jalen Hood-Schifino is the guy who, I'm not sure what his role is going to be. Might spend a lot of time now playing at the G League level, trying to hone his craft. Lakers able to retain Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. If we were to give away a grade as of right now, I think they have to get an A grade. They have ball handling with Vincent and Reeves. They have outside shooters now, perimeter defense as well. Can they be the team that maximizes Cam Reddish, or does he just stink? It might be the latter, but that's another intriguing player for very, very cheap too.
Yeah, and you see the draft pick portion of this Lakers offseason, and they've had an excellent free agency, that's for sure. But I love their draft as well, and now their free agent signings kind of complicate what those draft picks roles are going to be. You mentioned Hood Schifino, someone I had very high on my board. I had him as my 13th overall prospect, combo guard out of Indiana who could score on all 3 levels and has a 6'10 wingspan as a 6'4 guard, so can defend at an elite clip as well. Is he going to be relegated to the G League or just sitting on the bench? I mean, you got Vincent, Reeves, D'Lo, 4th guard. You don't get a lot of minutes.
What happens with Max Christie, draft pick from a couple of 2 years ago?
I mean, it's a good problem to have. Don't get me wrong, Chase. Lakers have a very deep and talented roster, and it's always a good thing to have that. But there are some guys that are going to get put to the woodshed a little bit and not get the playing time they probably deserve in this league.
Are the Lakers true contenders? I'm going to say yes. They were in the Final Four this past year, and I know that they got swept by the Denver Nuggets, but they were very, very close to the Denver Nuggets in that series, and the Nuggets obviously went on to win that NBA championship. More details from Shams here. New deal contains a player option on year 4, a 15% trade kicker, and the maximum advance allowable. So the Lakers included everything they legally could to make sure Reeves stayed in Los Angeles. So make sure you get those votes in. Y for yes, N for no. Austin Reeves staying with the Lakers as this team continues to crush it in 2023 NBA free agency.